You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Warning, the following broadcast contains adult language, adult content, frank safety discussions, and stories that might sound unbelievable. But believe me, every one of those stories is true. We didn't start the safety war, but we are going to fight to win it. For our families, for our communities, for our workplaces, and for our lives. Hello, we're back. This is Safety Wars with Jim Poesl. I wanted to thank everybody who sent out condolences on the death of my father, Walter Poesl, last week. That's why you haven't heard from me, is that I'm dealing with end-of-life issues and everything else that goes along with it. And I wanted to share some of the thoughts that my father had put into us, instilled in us, while we were growing up, and it does impact, it does center around, it does apply to safety. And that is, whenever I wanted to have a discussion with my father on anything, and it was, let's say, controversial subject, or how do I go about something, or how do I deal with something, it was always his practice to say, well, what is the other person's thinking that you're having a conflict with? And this is really important in the safety industry, rather than, and in life in general. If you're having conflicts with someone, or you're trying to get your point across, you have to try to learn what the other person's argument is, for a couple of reasons. One, you understand their argument, you're going to be able to go and make your argument better. You may be able to see their point of view and maybe refine your argument, or maybe say, you know what, this isn't an argument at all, now that I have all the facts and all the reasons and everything else. If you do not have good background information, good information, the chances of you making a good decision and coming up with good policies and everything else is pretty much a waste of time. You're going to come up with bad things. Maybe if we could apply that to some of the recent Supreme Court rulings in this country, there were a number of controversial ones this term. Maybe if people went out and read the actual opinions on both sides in support of, and consenting and non-consenting opinions, however they term it with Supreme Court cases. If we learn both sides, maybe we could come up with better solutions, and we wouldn't be all at each other's throats. Not to go into the swamp here, but both sides of every one of these situations has to come to some type of an agreement here. So, there's a lot of talk on the network, safety revolution. I mentioned it at the beginning of the podcast, way back when, beginning of last year, March 2021, I think it's in my promo, revolution. And there are a lot of good ways we could do revolutions here. We're not talking violent revolution, we're talking a revolution in thinking and acting and doing our profession, things of that nature. Todd Conklin has had a phenomenal book, Simple Revolutionary Acts. That's a good starting point for all of this. So, what do I have to say? You might be familiar with the quote. It's been misattributed to George Orwell, and there's nobody really knows who came up with this, but in a time of universal deceit, speaking the truth is a revolutionary act. More damage has been done by individuals, whether it's to my career, my job sites, or other people's careers and job sites, by people not telling the truth on things. And one of the subjects, it's such a serious problem in the safety industry with people not telling you the truth, that I inserted into my accident investigation classes on how do we detect deception. One of the most popular ways of deceiving people and lying to people is withholding information to get you to move to a certain argument. So here's the story. They got you move to a certain place, a certain position, what have you. Here's the story, and this is a true story, and I'm sorry to the person who's listening to this, who is this person, but this is a gem here. One of my friends is making out Christmas cards, holiday greetings, and what does she do? Now, and it's not safety words without a story. I'll add that. She's making out Christmas cards, and she says, "I don't know if I should send this person, Frank," and I forget the guy's name. I'll call him Frank, a card. I haven't heard from him in a couple years. I don't get cards. Doesn't return phone calls, that sort of thing. Her roommate says, "Well, if you haven't heard from the person or maintain the relationship, maybe you want to consider not sending him a card." Her response, very argumentative: "You want me to remove someone from a Christmas card list that has no family, is disabled, and is in a nursing home with nobody visiting them?" Well, and then it went, well, maybe had you included that information, maybe, just maybe, I would have told you, yeah, send him a card. And maybe send him a letter, let him know someone still thinks about him. Again, not telling the whole story and trying to figure out, hey, now you don't have all the information, you're not going to make the correct decision here. That happens often in the safety industry. More commonly, that happens with 40-hour HAZWOP work. That's 1910-120, Hazardous Waste Site Operations and Emergency Response. People will often withhold analytical results, will withhold site histories, withhold all different types of stuff. So when you're writing the health and safety plan, like what we do, we get put into a bad position because we don't have all the information that we know. And not knowing all the information, can you really help protect people? Right? And can you have them work safely? How about we apply this to the wider society? Everyday things, whether it's in your relationships, it could be political, in the swamps, financial, where you're dealing with a financial advisor of some sort, or not a licensed financial advisor. They normally don't do this. They have disclosures. But let's say someone trying to deliver hype on financial stuff, investments, who's unlicensed. So, what am I getting at here? You have to go after and pursue the truth. You have to tell the truth. You get caught in a lie a couple of times. It doesn't look too good for you. it's going to destroy your credibility, make your job a lot harder, and you're not going to be able to fight that safety war or win that safety war that we're always so concerned with. How do you get to the bottom of this? One, you can give us a call. We can teach you a little bit more about statement analysis for your organization. And we have a very good safety training class for that. You can get in contact with us. Now let's talk about how this applies to the safety war. Your people are fighting inadvertently, or no, we're not, and sometimes deliberately, by not telling us the truth. So what do you do about that? Number one is you talk the truth all the time. If you're not going to be saying the truth, you get caught in a lie, or you're not giving all the information necessary, it's going to catch up with you. That's guaranteed. What do you do if people are constantly lying to you? I just deal with them in writing for everything. And always have a witness. That's the other thing. Always have a witness if you have to talk to somebody, if it can't be in writing. That's how you fight the safety war, to win the safety war. When they see you have backbone, and when you see you're not going to back down, they're going to have more respect for you. And they may not like it, and guess what? Some workplaces, some cultures may not like safety people with backbones. Believe me, I can name at least a half a dozen of them right off the bat, right here in the metro New York area. And I seem to be a magnet for them. Everywhere I go, they are. Tell the truth, have a backbone. A simple revolutionary act that you can have today is telling the truth and being truthful on everything. Because we live in a time of universal deceit on all levels. People don't have a problem lying to people. This isn't anything new. It goes back to biblical days, time immemorial. And if we do what we're supposed to, we're going to win that safety war and make our workplaces safer, more positive. Places where people want to work, not places that people dread working in. And of course, negative attitudes impact safety as much as anything else. For Safety Wars, this is Jim Poesl. Are you tired of hiring safety consultants and safety professionals that don't have any passion for what they're doing? How about those who have never worked in the field or done the dirty work? Is there resistance to taking safety training because the training is boring, irrelevant, and unengaging? Are your employees playing a team, college student, or someone on the dark web to take the online safety training for them? Look no further. Safety Wars can come to your facility or do most of the training you need through an online platform at times convenient for you. For more information, call me, Jim Poesl, your Safety Wars host, at 845-694-4170. Or you can email me at jim@safetywars.com. Remember, if you've heard this transmission, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.